Alright, hello everyone and welcome to another episode in the tipsy-topsy-turvy life of a certain footballer. It's episode 39, it's 0 to hero, and it's the first match of the 2022-23 Sky Bet Championship. Is that what it's called nowadays? Sky Bet, I think it is. Anyways, we're away at Villa, and I played a hand in scoring the first goal, as you saw there. It was a great through ball from myself towards, I think it may have been Rothwell or Armstrong down the right-hand side. They actually missed their initial one-on-one chance with the goalkeeper, but luckily for us, big Ben Brereton was there ready to rumble and ready to follow up on the rebound. So that put us 1-0 up, away at Villa Park. We're coming into this season really aiming to try and get a playoff spot. I think first and second, is way out of our comfort zone. But yeah, bad tackle there from myself. I got given a yellow card. You can see why I got given a yellow card for that. On John McGinn as well. Interesting fact about John McGinn. Last season he was linked with us, and apparently he was deciding between joining either us or Villa, and he went to Villa, and what a signing he has ended up being. So yeah, well done Aston Villa. I know someone also wanted me to join Aston Villa a couple of seasons back when we played in the Japanese league, but unfortunately they weren't interested in my services. So it did feel kind of sweet, being 1-0 up against them. But unfortunately, first game of the season, a little bit excited, and I got sent off. I mean, I laugh about it, but at the time I was absolutely fuming because the thing is, you sometimes forget you're on a yellow card, and I don't know what it is, but slide tackling this year just feels really, really weird. It almost feels like every time you try and slide tackle, it's orchestrated to go against you. And yeah, we went down to 10 men away from home. We were always going to do pretty well, try and hold on, and none other than Tammy Abraham popped up, big man in the middle. I'm not quite sure what that goalkeeper positioning or defending positioning was, but I think reflecting on the whole match, Aston Villa probably deserved something from the game, and it didn't directly really come as a result of me getting that red card in terms of the play. It was a rating of 5.5 for myself. Ben Woodburn somehow won the Europe Best Player award, so credit where it's due to him. And because obviously I got a red card, it meant I was suspended for the next game. So it meant we got another draw away at Nottingham Forest, which was disappointing. But I guess on paper, if you'd have offered us 2 draws in 2 away matches at the start of the season, we'd have probably taken. Yeah. So next up, first match of the season at home at Ewood Park, up against a fellow championship team in the form of Reading. And it's an FA Cup match. Now, to be fully honest, when it comes to this kind of scenario where we want to gun for the top 6 for a playoff spot, and we're not already an incredibly strong team, we're going to be one of those fringe teams who kind of stand a chance if we put all our eggs in one basket and getting promoted. For me, it wasn't the end of the world to get knocked out of the FA Cup, and once it kind of went to 2-0, we were really just playing for our pride more than anything. But there's also the other perspective on it, where Reading are a team that are going to be kind of competing for top 6 as well in the Championship. So if we can't beat them at home, regardless of what competition we're playing them in a competitive game, we probably have something to worry about. I was fuming here if you guys caught that. So if you watch the replay here, I scored a perfectly good goal, and it just basically summarised how everything seems to be going against me at the moment this season. Hopefully it doesn't last too long. I mean, for me, there was absolutely nothing wrong with that strike. It's not really my fault their player fell over. And, at 2-1, it could have been very different. It was a lovely ball from Bradley Dack into my path as well. The goalkeeper pulled off a miraculous save, and once again, through myself, Ben Brereton scores a rebound goal. Fox in the box. That's it's why he's there, basically. I should have scored from there, but I felt like the goalkeeper did incredibly well to even get that low down. And save it. So not the best of results for us, but it means that we can focus on the league rather than the FA Cup. Yeah, We had Sheffield United next at Ewood Park. You can tell it's Ewood Park because of the weather. Cross into the box from myself. Header from Ben Brereton, the inform. I think it's either Ben Brereton or Adam Armstrong. It's because sometimes Armstrong plays down the middle. Sometimes the manager plays Brereton on the right-hand side. Sometimes it's Brereton down the middle. They have very similar haircuts, so I can't always make it out. So I cut inside there on my right foot. Shot on goal. Good save from the Sheffield United goalkeeper. I think it's probably Dean Henderson. Yeah, good chance there as well. Dowell's actually playing for Sheffield United, who obviously was playing with us a couple of weeks back at the World Cup. Let's not talk too much about how that ended up. And as you can see from the chances, you know, it was all us. We just could not just find the back of the net. But in terms of chances, Sheffield United were doing absolutely nothing. I had that point-blank chance there. No idea how on earth my shot ended up closer to the corner flag than it did the goal. And obviously when you can't get that goal, you always get worried that a team that are quite direct, play with big lads up front like Sheffield United, will make you pay the price. But fortunately, it was us who got the late goal. It was a wonderful pass from Ben Brereton down the right-hand side. He picked the ball up off, I think it was Ryan Niambe's throw-in. Fantastic vision. You know, you don't normally expect it from that player in particular. And then Adam Armstrong was always going to finish from there. So it took until the 87th minute to find the winner, but we found it, and it was a much-needed winner. So we're unbeaten 3 games so far into the season, but if we are going to be gunning for the top 6 spots, we need to start winning more games. Stoke City, Butland in goal, who obviously was with us at the World Cup. Yeah, we won a penalty. It wasn't the cleanest of penalties, but we decided to take the penalty. Edwards was the player that gave away the foul, but it was a good save from Jack Butland from Adam Armstrong's penalty, and we had to go again. It was a good chance to take the lead. We beat Stoke last season, so I did feel like we could have potentially, you know, taken them again going into the game, even though they have a lot of quality. Like, they have players like Serge Aurier and Miguel Veloso, and players like that, and Butland obviously in goal, all playing for him in the Championship. Pereira as well. And talking about Pereira, not quite sure what Darragh Lenihan was trying to do there. I mean, if that's called defending, I'm not quite sure who our defensive coach is. But it was Pereira that got the breakthrough. On paper, Stoke are, you know, a much stronger, much better side than us. But in terms of the performance, Stoke didn't really create much all first half. It was mainly us, like it has been in a lot of the games we've played so far this season. And, yeah, unfortunately, we messed up at the back. And, yeah, it allowed them to score a goal. And then with 10 minutes to go, we're trying to push players forwards, away from home, trying to get that equaliser. A bit of a smash-and-grab draw again. And it was Miguel Veloso that popped up in the box, relatively unmarked-ish. I could have maybe done better to prevent the player initially out in the wide area, cutting inside and being able to pass the ball towards a box. So I made up for it with a header of my own. It's not every day I score headers from corners, but, you know, I picked the ball up. It gave the fans something to cheer about. But, yeah, even if I had stopped the player cutting inside for the second goal that we conceded, obviously there were way more yellow players in the box than there were red players. So someone should have been able to stop Veloso in his tracks rather than defend as deep as we did. A 9.0 rating for me away at Stoke, though. So, you know, we lost, but it was a decent result for us. Next up, another away match at the KCOM Stadium against Nigel Adkins' Hull City. 8 minutes in, we're doing quite nicely, Dak and me and co, to try and keep the ball on the ground. It eventually reached a point where I just had to gamble and put the ball in the danger area. And again, Mr. Ben Brereton was there to meet it. So, assist for me, goal for Ben Brereton, and it put us 1-0 up against Hull City, who again are a side we should really be beating if we do want to gun for promotion. 21 minutes in, I get a chance to shoot on goal, and then the referee decided to give us yet another penalty. We know that Adam Armstrong missed the last one, so this time round it seems like there were specific instructions to ensure someone else took the penalty, and that someone else was Big Ben. He already scored a goal in the game earlier on, and he doubled the number of goals that he he has to his name by scoring the penalty as well. So that gives a little bit of breathing space away from home. And obviously the Blackburn Rovers train kept on coming. It feels like there was a lot of frustration, in myself and in some of the other players because we haven't played poorly as such so far this season. But the Championship can be a very, very cruel league. Ask me. I've been watching it for God knows how many years, waiting for Blackburn Rovers to get promoted to the Premier League again. I think this was Will Keane or Jackson Irvine in a one-on-one situation. Really should have hit the target from there. Real good volley from the edge of the box from Amari Bell as well that descended from a header from the sky, clearing a corner. And again, it just emphasised the dominance that we had all game. But the last thing that we needed was to let Hull back into the game. And of course, with our defence, that's always a possibility. And it's exactly what happened. And when you're away from home, you almost prefer to be 1-0 up than 2-1 up. Because the fact that they've scored a goal against you almost rallies them up and makes them believe that they can find a second goal. It was a Cameron Stewart shot from outside the box that went just wide of the target. 75th minute, David Raya threw the ball out, and then Bradley Dack, he read me like an open book, and I was able, I kept pursuing the ball. I gambled on the Hull City defender messing up, and he most certainly did mess up, and it was an easy finish for me. I think that's my first goal of the season for the new Championship campaign. Delighted with it, and delighted with the finish. It's not every day I finish that well, so I'll take it. So that put us 3-1 up. Another good save from David Raya, thanks to a Cameron Stewart header. And of course, Ben Brereton got man of the match for scoring 2 goals. 9.0 rating for him, 8.5 rating for me, and 3 points was very much needed. And we also finished in Team of the Month for September. So really, I'll take that personally. I'll take that, not complaining about that at all. But we have some important games coming up. And we've dropped some points, so we need to start getting a few more wins if we are to make sure that by Christmas we are up there, competing for a top 6 spot, or at least in the top 10 to make a late playoff push later on. So, Swansea City have come to Ewood Park. It was a nice 1-2 between myself and Bradley Dack. It was blocked by the defender. But again, we were doing very, very well considering how skillful this Swansea City side is. I got another chance to head on goal. If that had been maybe an inch to either side of the goalkeeper, it probably would have whistled in the back of the net, but unfortunately it was saved. It was straight at the goalkeeper. Here I made a really good run. I'm not really quite sure why Adam Armstrong tried to play it over the top of the defenders rather than just play it on the floor. So it meant that I had to try and head on goal, and it was a little soft, so the goalkeeper saved it easily. We then had another chance. I think that was Davenport heading onto the bar. So only 20 or so minutes in, and the game's all Blackburn Rovers. Another shot from me, and 25 or so minutes into the game, it started becoming evident that this goalkeeper was not going to be beat. I'm not quite sure what he's called, but that was practically a triple save in quick succession from that goalkeeper there. There's the second of the triple saves. There's the third. I mean, it was an acute angle for me, but you could tell that this guy was on it. I cut inside. I tried to finesse it into the bottom left-hand corner. But again, if I didn't shoot wide there, I think the goalkeeper would have had it covered. So all we could do is go in at half-time and keep on knocking on that Swansea goals door and hope that we can find the breakthrough in the second half. 67th minute came out nice and fresh. Most of the game, we had most of the possession. But of course, in the Championship, all it takes is one set piece and one, lapse of concentration, of poor defending. And before you know it, you've gone 1-0 down. You don't get 3 points for dominating games. You get 3 points for winning games. And we just can't beat this goddamn goalkeeper. Another great fingertip save from him. More kind of body on the line defending from the Swansea back 5, I think it was. 73rd minute, Harrison Reed has an absolute shocker trying to get an overhead kick done and dusted there. Another cross comes in, another header off target, more 1-2s, and another red card. I missed out the first yellow card in the highlights, and it's The first yellow card, I remember it. I don't know why I missed it out. I messed up. I didn't realise I got a second red card. That's how bad my situation was during editing. But it wasn't a yellow card. And unfortunately, I again forgot I was on a yellow card and got sent off again. Now, we're already losing this game. We lost 2-0. But I need to stop getting sent off. So that's definitely something on my to-do list. And I think it's just overall disappointing that we lost this game. This Bender guy was... I mean, I've been playing PES for a very, very long time in this season. And I've never, ever seen the opposition goalkeeper get man of the match. So 9.0 rating for Bender. It meant I was obviously suspended for the next game, so we quite quickly, after losing to Birmingham City, dropped down from 10th to 16th. We're on 8 points. Cardiff are in 6th on 13, so it's still early days. We don't need to panic just yet. If I can stop getting sent off, and if we can start winning more games at home, we should be okay. I've scored 2 goals so far this season with 1 assist, with an average rating of 6.9. So if we can stay cool, calm and collected, like we were when we scored that goal against Hull, we should hopefully be okay. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching.